In this video, you will see material that may be considered inappropriate or sensitive for you, and therefore discretion is advised. We start with a lady who is driving a car when out of nowhere, something hits her. She was in that car with her husband. Sometime later, we are with the same lady. One child is her son, and she is telling him a story. The woman's name is Amelia, and the boy's name is Samuel. The mother is telling him a story because the boy was having nightmares. The next morning, Amelia wakes up and hears a loud bang downstairs. She runs down and finds that it was just her son playing. He tells her that when the monster comes, he is going to do this, and then he throws a ball with a toy he has, ending up breaking the window. Samuel is a rather restless boy, but he likes to perform magic tricks for his mother to make her smile, as she lost her husband a few years ago. Amelia is called from the school because her son is causing too many problems and they are considering expelling him. She says that her son just needs a little attention, but the staff at the institution tell her no, that her son is too troublesome. In the end, they do not reach any agreement, and she ends up taking her son with her. Mother and son were back home, and the boy brings a book for his mother to read him a story. He took the book from the shelf. The book is called Mr. Babadook. Babadook. When you open it, the book says that if it's in a word or a glance against Babadook, you can't do anything. It's an animated book, and if you pull a tab, the monster can greet you. To call him, you have to make a loud noise and say, Babadook, Dook Dook, and you'll feel that he is with you, like the video, so that Babadook doesn't come for you. Let's continue. Amelia, already scared, tells her son why he doesn't read another book instead, but he says no, he wants that one. In the book, they show us Babadook and describe how he is dressed. He wears a hat and a black robe. It also says that he will come at night and will appear to you while you sleep. So you know, give the video a like and leave a comment so that YouTube recommends it. Samuel fell asleep, but Amelia decided to keep reading the book. The book says, let me in and you will wish you were dead. Amelia finishes reading the book and goes to bed. We are with Samuel. He was lying down, but before falling asleep, the closet doors were closed, and now they are open. He runs to his mother's room and jolts her awake, telling her that Babadook is in his room because the closet is open. She tells him to lie down and not to say nonsense, as it is just a book. Mother and son fell asleep. The next morning, she leaves her son with an aunt, so he can play with his cousin while she goes to work. When she comes back from work, the aunt tells her that her boy is a monster, as he wouldn't stop talking about someone named Babadook and scared his cousin while doing so. The aunt says that the boy keeps saying nothing but nonsense. Samuel is sitting on the sidewalk and he says that it's not nonsense, that it's real. While they are in the car, Amelia tells her son that if Babadook were real, it would appear now. Samuel replies that it first wants to scare her and then it will show itself. She responds that she is not scared, and Samuel tells her that she will be scared when it appears in her room and eats her insides. Mother and son are back home. They were having dinner. While she was eating, she took a spoonful and felt something in it. She pulled out the food and I think what she found was a piece of glass. The truth is, she couldn't distinguish it. She kept checking her plate and found another piece. Her son told her that it was the Babadook who put those little pieces there. She told her son to go watch television. While the boy is watching television, she goes upstairs and finds a photo of herself and her husband, but it is crossed out. Angry, she goes to her son and asks if he thinks that's funny. He runs and grabs one of his toys, but his mother takes it away from him. In anger, he pushes his mother and yells at her if she wants to die now, then proceeds to leave the room. Amelia went to sit in the kitchen because her head was hurting a little. Samuel was in his room and saw something in the closet, so he started to approach it. Amelia heard a loud noise followed by a scream from her son, so she ran over. When she arrived, she found Samuel's room all messy and her son hiding under the bed. She pulls her son out from under the bed and he starts screaming, "Don't let him in! Don't let him in!" Amelia sees the book of the Babadook and starts tearing its pages. Once she has torn them all, she goes and throws it in the trash outside the house. The next day, the mother and her son were invited to a party, the party of his cousin. At the party, all the children were with the clown who entertained them, but Samuel was hiding in a treehouse. The birthday girl comes up and tells him that he can't be there, as that is her treehouse. Samuel tells her to leave him alone, as he is not bothering anyone. The girl starts telling Samuel that his mother would never go to his house because his house is too depressing. Samuel angrily responds that if her mother ever comes to his house, Babadook would eat her for breakfast. It has been 7 years since Samuel's father died. The girl starts to mock him, saying that all the kids have a father and Samuel does not. She also says that Samuel's father died so he wouldn't have to be with him. Following this, she says that his mom doesn't love him and that nobody loves him. Samuel, angry, pushes her from the treehouse. We see how the girl falls and breaks her nose. Amelia grabs her son and takes him away. He was screaming in the car. Frustrated, she turns around and tells him why he can't just be normal, that there is no Babadook. Samuel was screaming, and out of nowhere, he stops screaming and starts looking to his right as if there is someone there. He starts screaming for it to go away, and out of nowhere, he goes completely stiff and begins to tremble. She takes her son to the doctor, and they start examining him. The doctor says that everything is fine, there is nothing concerning for now, but Amelia, not satisfied with this, asks him to please give her some sleeping pills, both for herself and for her son, as they have not been able to sleep well. Mother and son returned home. As Amelia walked through the house, she heard someone knock on the door. She went out, but there was no one there, so she closed it, and just as she was about to go up the stairs, there was another knock. When she goes out, she sees the book that she had previously thrown in the trash on the floor. She picks it up and runs back inside. Upon checking it, she realizes that it has all the pages that she had torn earlier. She starts to read the book and says, "I will play with you. The more I read it, the stronger I will be too." Later it says, "Let me in. I will make you change when I can enter." And she sees a drawing that is supposed to be her, and behind her is the Babadook. She sees another drawing where she is killing her dog, and another where she is now killing her son. He gets so scared that he goes outside, pours gasoline on the book, and proceeds to set it on fire. Later, she hears the phone ringing, and when she answers, she hears it say Babadook. Amelia goes to the police and says that she has been harassed, but the police, as always in these movies, are of no help, and in summary, the police tell her that they cannot assist her. She arrives home and lies down to sleep with her son. While she is sleeping, she hears strange noises. She sees the door slowly opening and someone entering directly into the darkness of fear. She covers herself with the blanket, peeks out, and sees that the Babadook is right above her. That mother jumps on top of her, and she gets up suddenly, grabs her son, and takes him to the first floor. Downstairs, she puts her son to sleep and stays awake all night watching television. In the morning, her son comes to find her because he is hungry, but she is asleep. She gets upset because her son won't stop talking to her and tells him to go eat poop, literally with all the profanity. Samuel went and cornered himself in a little space. His mother arrives and starts to apologize for being rude and tells him that she is going to buy him an ice cream. She takes her son out for ice cream and everything is very nice for now. When they were on their way back in the car, she sees the Babadook in the rearview mirror and panics so much that she ends up crashing. Mother and son returned home. While at home, she hears whispers, goes to the kitchen, and finds her son Samuel talking on the phone. He was speaking with the neighbor to see if he could go over there. Amelia takes the phone away and tells the neighbor not to worry, that everything is fine, and proceeds to hang up. Now she starts yelling at her son in a very loud and aggressive manner, telling him that she told him not to call anyone. He proceeds to take the batteries out of the phone and grabs a knife, but the knife is for cutting the wires that provide signal to the phone. Samuel is apologizing, saying that it is all Babadook's fault. She gets angry and tells him that Babadook is not real, that everything is caused by Samuel's silly little head. Amelia leaves and starts to secure all the doors and windows so that nothing can enter the house. Amelia sits down to watch television while her son is in the room. On the television, they are showing a case of a mother who stabbed her 7-year-old son to death. In the news, there are 2 officers, and if you look closely at the window of the house, there is a lady peeking out. When they zoom in, it is her. At that moment, her son arrives and tells her to wake up. She replies that it is he who is asleep. Then Samuel leaves and she starts to chase him. They arrive at the basement, and there she sees her husband, who died 7 years ago. Without hesitating even once, she goes and hugs him, proceeds to kiss him, and after kissing him, her husband says, "Bring me the boy," repeating several times without saying the name, "Bring me the boy." She, frightened, runs away, looks back, and there is the Babadook. That thing is chasing her. She runs out and locks herself in a room, cornering herself against the wall next to the fireplace, and there falls the hat of the Babadook. Scared, she tries to crawl away. Realizing she can't do much anymore, she starts saying, "This is not real. This is not real." But the Babadook jumps on her. We see how her eyes become strange. The Babadook has gotten inside her. Amelia was sitting watching television when her little dog started barking at her. She goes after him, catches him, and begins to strangle him until he dies. I don't understand why they always have to kill a puppy in these movies. Bro comments, "Stop killing puppies in horror movies." Amelia continues walking through her house and sees her son on the stairs, proceeding to chase him. He manages to run into the room and close the door, but Amelia, like a true Rambo, climbs onto the door and kicks it down. 2009. She starts to levitate as she approaches her son, and Samuel is so scared that he wet himself. Amelia tells her son that she doesn't know how many times she wished it had been him and not his father. Samuel responds that he just wants her to be happy, and she mocks him. Following this, Amelia tells her son that she wants to smash his head against the wall until his brains spill out. Samuel tells her that she is not his mother, and then he runs away while Amelia starts to chase him. He has his toy and begins to defend himself by shooting darts at her. Taking advantage of the fact that she is crouched down, he runs away to hide in a room. As she went to look for Samuel, the doorbell rang. Samuel was going through the kitchen, and there he saw his dead puppy. Amelia opened the door, and it was just her neighbor, asking if they were okay. Amelia goes back inside and encounters her son. She starts to apologize, telling him that she is sorry for everything that is happening. She kneels down and begins to say that she will show him his father. Samuel pulls out a knife and stabs her before running away. She removes the knife and runs after him, but Samuel has set a trap, taking advantage of her disorientation. Samuel hits her on the head with a log, leaving her lying on the ground. Amelia wakes up and is tied up. Samuel talks to her and tells her that he is not going to leave her, that he will help her. He approaches, but his mother starts to choke him. He does not respond with aggression. Instead, he proceeds to caress her face. In an internal struggle with the Babadook, she releases her son and begins to fight the Babadook to get it out of her body. She turns around and starts to vomit a black liquid. Her face turns completely purple and she faints. After a while, she wakes up and crawls outside with her son. But when they reach the stairs, Samuel says you can't do anything against Babadook, and they proceed to pull him and put him in a room. When Amelia enters the room, she sees her son being slammed against the wall. She grabs him, throws him onto the bed, and jumps on top of him, causing the bed to start bouncing. Does Amelia start screaming, "What do you want? What do you want?" And she sees someone approaching from the darkness. It is her husband. The Babadook is using the memory of her husband to make her suffer. We see a light approaching him and hear the sound of a car brake. Then his head is cut off, alluding to the accident where he died. Amelia stands up angrily and starts telling the Babadook that he is nothing, The Babadook begins to emerge from the darkness. She started yelling at the Babadook and made him angry. Amelia screams at the Babadook that if he touches her son again, she will kill him. The Babadook gets angry and starts pulling Samuel. Amelia grabs her son and begins to yell at the Babadook very loudly. He starts to hide. The Babadook's suit is left on the floor, and Amelia begins to approach it. She touches it. Then the Babadook leaves and locks itself in a room. A long time later, the mother and son appear to be happier, and they are even throwing a birthday party for Samuel, something they had never done before. Let's remember that Samuel was born on the same day his father died. Amelia is entering the same room where the Babadook hid and is carrying a plate of food. She enters and leaves the plate. The Babadook appears and starts roaring at her, but does not harm her. After a while, she is outside with her son, and he is going to perform a magic trick. He made a dove appear. This is how the Babadook ends. Let me know what you thought of the movie summary. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, subscribe by activating the bell, and don't forget to brush your teeth before bed.